Welcome back. Now we will talk about industrial working classes. This is another group which participate in civil disobedience movement in large number, except in the Nagpur region. Only in Nagpur region, industrial working class, they did not participate in civil disobedience movement. As the industrialists came closer to the Congress, workers stayed aloof. When industrialists they came closer to the Congress, the workers they stayed aloof. Aloof means as a distance apart. It's an adverb. But in spite of that, some workers did participate in civil disobedience movement. But despite of this, some workers participate in civil disobedience movement, selectively adopting some of the ideas of the Gandhian program, like boycott of foreign good as part of their own movement against low wages and poor working conditions. So some of the workers they participated in civil disobedience movement, but they have their own Gandhian program, like they boycotted foreign goods, and they had as a part of their own movement they were against the low wages, because these workers they were getting very low wages and they had to work in poor conditions. So they started their movement against this. So there were strikes by railway workers in 1930s, dock workers in 1932. Dock workers means the workers those who are doing work on harbor for loading or unloading the ships or boats. And in 1930, thousands of workers in Chota Nagpur tin mines wore Gandhi caps and participated in protest rallies. So in 1930, thousands of the workers, those who were working in tin mines in Chota Nagpur, they wore Gandhi caps, a special type of cap, and they participated in the rallies and boycott the campaigns. But the Congress was reluctant to include workers' demands as part of its program of struggle. It felt that it would alienate industrialists, can divide the anti-imperial forces. Now, these workers, they participated in these rallies, but Congress, they hesitate to include the work demands of these workers as the part of their struggle. Why? Because they felt that if they make these workers part of their struggle, part of civil disobedience movement, it would alienate industrialists and divide the anti-imperial forces. So these big industrialists, they get upset with this, and it will divide the anti-imperial forces, because industrialists, they are like a backbone for them. Another important feature of civil disobedience movement was the large-scale participation of women. Women also participated in civil disobedience movement. During Gandhiji's Salt March, thousands of women they came out of their houses and listening to Gandhiji, and they participated in protest marches. They manufactured salt also, and women they picketed foreign clothes and liquor shop. Many of them they went to jail also in urban areas, and in urban areas these women were from high caste families, and in rural areas they came from rich peasants household. And with these women, they moved by Gandhiji's call, and they began to see this service to the nation as a sacred duty of women. Yet this increased public role did not necessarily mean any radical change in the way the position of women was visualized. Now we can see here, even the women, if they are participating in these movements, still the role of the woman is not changed. The position of women was not changed. Gandhiji also, he convinced that the duty of the woman is to look after home and hearth. Hearth means family life. Be a good mother and good wives. And for a long time, the Congress was reluctant to allow women to hold any position of authority within the organization. So even the women, they participated actively in these movements. Still, Gandhiji was convinced that it was the duty of a woman to look after the children, look after the home, and be a good mother or good wife. And that is why for a long time Congress was reluctant to allow women. Any high position was not held by any woman in Congress party, and they do not have any authority within the organization. It was keen only on their symbolic presence.